right here at St. Luke's in Newburgh. And, you know, we had been so, you know, joyously anticipating him being born. It was surreal. And like, the moments at that time are like, some of them very vivid, the rest of it's sort of like a blur. But having this little, you know, in my arms was like, I don't know, it's, nothing beat it.
We would be playing in the schoolyard as kids, and we would play till 8 o'clock at night. We'd be playing baseball or whatever, and I'd be out in the field and he'd be slowly driving up the hill in the back to the house, and I'd look at him and he'd wave and he'd look out the window, and he was filled with grease and he was smoking a cigar and he was exhausted. And I never forgot that picture of how hard he worked to let us live in an upscale community for a great education, and give me the opportunities to go on to college and not have thousands of dollars in loans and stuff like that. He never wanted us to be saddled with any financial issues. Ultimately, you know, as the ages got on, that situation disintegrated. Dad went into the veterans home in Montrose first, and Mom was soon to follow after that.
After 8 or 9 years, my brother-in-law started to show signs of Alzheimer's. Even the people that we got from Medicaid that came over didn't recognize the need that he had for people to watch him.
He was a very, very hard man. He grew up in a family of 8 or 9, very, very poor. My grandfather was an immigrant, and he didn't have much. He didn't have much. It was a very, very tough life that he had. He
would go out and take, one day we found him outside in the snow. He had taken the garbage out and fallen and couldn't get up.
He'd be burning stuff on the stove and still be cooking, or he'd fall out of the bed and not say anything and be there for a day or whatever.
And it was the start of a pattern that I couldn't take care of anymore.
The primary thing that I help people with is that when they are dealing with these long-term care situations, those have a big price tag. And I help to stop that from happening. That allows everybody to be freer and pursue happiness, right? And have options.
The thing that Austin did right away as we were trying to put things together for my parents is that, like most people, I'm a visual learner. You know, he was able to explain things in simple terms to me, and I could visually see those things. And I think that made me have a better understanding of where we were going, where we needed to go down the line when they needed nursing home health care.
He worked with our social service worker, and 1, 2, 3, he was in the VA in a really great facility where he got the care that he needed.
And the trust that he developed for us helped us qualify for the needs that they had, first in the community, and then the transition into long-term health care. You know, it's not this typical, stereotypical lawyer situation that often is portrayed as a cold type of thing. We connect.
My clients are not out there doing Medicaid planning and asset protection all day, right? They're not. So they are putting their confidence in me to know how to do that and to do it properly and do it in a way that it's going to achieve the best result for them.
So it meant a lot that I could give him something, because he never asked for anything, and he really didn't have a lot in his life. Really didn't have a lot.
I'm not a good professional if I'm not understanding my clients as people.
And that was important, that Austin saw me as a person, saw me as an individual.
And then, yeah, we eventually get to the legal documents and the money. That clearly has to happen. I'm a lawyer that deals with money. But I can't effectively talk about any of that or understand any of that if I don't understand the people I'm doing it for and the dynamics of those relationships and just who they are and what they're going through.
it's freedom to know that I don't have to worry. I could be taken care of, or I could take care of myself. Either or, I don't have to worry about the future.